Every year, the Mothman Festival brings thousands of people to Point Pleasant, drawn by stories of mystery, tragedy, and resilience. The authors behind a book that takes a deep dive into the Silver Bridge collapse, the paranormal events that surrounded it, and the strength of the community will be at this year's festival. And they join us now. Welcome, Bill and Jackie Kuselis. Thanks for joining us on Good Day at 4, guys.
Hi, Marilee. How are you?
Hi. Doing good, and so excited. We've got another Mothman Festival on the horizon. What inspired you all to write, though, the Bridging the Tragedy, Silver Linings in the Mysterious Ohio River Valley? What was the inspiration?
Yes. So we were fans of the whole Mothman legend for many, many years, and we took our first trip to Point Pleasant in 2016. And we happened upon a lady by the name of Carolyn Harris, who had a diner that was known as the Mothman Diner or the Harris's Steakhouse. We got to be friendly with her and visited with her for the first probably hour or so we were in town. And during our conversation, it came out to us that Carolyn had lost both her husband and her 2-year-old son in the Silver Bridge collapse. So we were immediately in a position of reverence for this lady and compassion. And we spent most of that week with her that we were in town. We just went back to her restaurant every single day and visited with her. And long story short, we went back home to our workaday lives. And a few months later, on Christmas Eve, I told Jackie, why don't we give Carolyn a call? She had given us her phone numbers and said, call me anytime. Let's see if we could write a story about her. Sadly, we were contacted by one of our friends in Point Pleasant on Christmas Day. He said that Carolyn had had a heart attack, and the next day Carolyn passed away. So we never had an opportunity to see her again, but because we just fell in love with this lady and really enjoyed visiting with her, she felt like family to us. We wanted to do a book that we could dedicate to her.
And Carolyn is just one of the folks who really embody Point Pleasant's sense of community in the Ohio River Valley, especially as they show their resilience towards tragedy with such devastating loss. Your background is in positive psychology, by the way. How do you see that science coming to life in the stories you cover?
Well, basically, we set out to collect the stories of people who had gone through the Silver Bridge disaster. And the focus was to try to figure out what good came from the disaster. There's a phenomenon known as post-traumatic growth that is kind of counterintuitive to people who go through tragedy, that oftentimes we get to a different and even better place in life because we go through trauma. Certainly, the Silver Bridge disaster was traumatic. The people we interviewed stories illustrated that, but they also illustrated a lot of profound growth. So I think basically in our story, we felt that because the Mothman phenomenon took place right before the Silver Bridge disaster, that in history, in a lot of ways, the legend has the two things tied together. And what we found out is that it was very important to the people of the community that if we were going to study this thing, it's okay to talk about Mothman and it's okay to talk about the Silver Bridge, but don't act like there was a cause and effect type thing or that the two things were related. So we were very careful to kind of keep those things separate from one another when we interviewed people, because we wanted to be sensitive to the fact that this was a very significant tragedy in the lives of those people that went through this. But it's certainly the two things, when put together, make for legendary storytelling. And I think that that has a lot to do with today's interpretation of the legend of Mothman and the Silver Bridge disaster, although we were very careful to keep those things as separate as we could for the integrity of the study.
What message do you hope festival goers take away from your book, or readers?
We hope that they find hope, that if they have experienced some type of a tragedy or trauma in their life, that seeing that a community and people can come together, they can learn from it, they can grow from it, and that they'll find hope in their trauma and tragedy as well.
Before I ask where folks can go for more information, is there anything else you guys would like to add ahead of the event?
I think we've just really fallen in love with your community there in Gallipolis, Ohio.
It's hard not to, right? Isn't Point Pleasant and Gallipolis
we have been
wonderful?
So blown away. We live in Northern Illinois. People are not as friendly and kind and outgoing and welcoming here. And that's not a knock against the people here. I think that's just more of a thank you to the people of West Virginia and the Ohio River Valley because of your kindness and your openness. It's just really very refreshing. So, whether or not that had much to do with the bridge disaster itself, we don't really know, but the kindness that's there is just really, really impressive. And it keeps us coming back. We've been back every year since 2016.
Well, Bill and Jackie Kuselis, thanks so much for joining us to tell us more about bridging the tragedy, silver linings in the mysterious Ohio River Valley. You can meet them on September 20th at the Mothman Festival and perhaps get a signed book, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yes.
There you
and
have
a T-shirt.
And a T-shirt. You got to walk away with some swag. Bill and Jackie, thanks so much for joining us on Good Day at 4. Folks, don't miss the annual Mothman Festival taking place September 20th and 21st. In the meantime, keep it here. Our Chief Meteorologist, Spencer Adkins, will have a check of the forecast on the other side of the break.